Good morning, Northwest Indiana. I'm Damian Rico. I'm the marketing director at Hospice of the Calumet Area. We do a monthly show here on WJOB AM 1230, and we've been doing this for a very long time. One of my guest today actually is the awesome Nisha Williams. And Nisha and I have worked together on many different capacities, and one of the capacities that we've worked together is the Munster Chamber. I'm the Munster Chamber of Commerce, and also I've met her a couple of years ago, and we've talked about health. We've had her on before as a guest, talking about minorities and health industry, and had a great conversation about
Hmm.
that, and with Dr. Payne.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so it's great to have you back, Nisha. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Damien. I'm so happy to be here.
So introduce yourself, Nisha, and tell a little bit about what you do.
So, my name is Nisha Williams. I am the owner of Manny Doro Nail and Foot Spa. So, I am a licensed manicurist, but I also am a certified master pedicurist. So, what that is that that's a person who has advanced training, skills, and techniques that will help people with problematic feet.
Okay. And so you work with a lot of folks that maybe have some diabetes issues, those kind of things, right?
Yes, I do. So foot care is it's really for everyone. It's not just cosmetic, but I do specialize in foot care for diabetics, people who have high blood pressure, autoimmune system. I'm sorry, diseases, uh, autoimmune, cancer, things of that nature. I have a lot of people who are runners,
Okay.
very active in the gym or the golfers. Everyone with feet, of course, but I specialize in like I said, the problematic feet because we have an aging population. They need specialized care because as we get older, um, our toenails and nails get thicker, and not every nail salon has the tools and implements and training to safely cut those nails and toenails and deal with those issues in a safe and hygienic capacity.
Okay. Now, the health industry is constantly evolving, right? And I
Mhm.
think this you coming into Munster and you offering your support to folks, um, it's a great relationship building,
Yes.
right?
Yes, I joined the Munster Chamber because I'm a solo entrepreneur. I do it all. The marketing, I work the marketing, even cleaning the bathrooms. I wear all the hats, and I am on a major street, but I'm off. My door faces a side street,
Okay.
so with my type of work, I can't handle walk-in traffic. People are embarrassed about their feet, so I can't do walk-in. It's just me. It's a one-on-one service
Okay.
because I have to ask those very personal questions about their health, their lifestyle, even hygiene.
Okay.
Like, do you take really hot showers? That's very personal information. So
Hmm.
therefore, I can't have people walking in off the street and sitting down waiting their turn for a service. So I made sure that I wasn't just a regular nail salon, but my niche is very personalized and private care. Not only do you get that personalized care, but I can also help you with at home maintenance, give you suggestions, and especially if I see things in your feet or your nails or your skin, there are times where I have to tell people I need you to go see your primary care physician or a dermatologist or a podiatrist.
Okay. Nisha, how did you get started with this? What fascinated you about helping people, especially
Um,
with feet?
I've always loved to do my own nails and feet. Is something I started with my grandmother with.
Okay.
That was just our thing that we did. And then, of course, it just evolved to when I went away to school. I came back. She was diabetic, so I would actually take her to her podiatrist appointments,
Okay.
and it was hilarious that he would tell both of us, "You can't do this. You can't do that. Don't ever let your grandmother go to one of those in and out nail salons because she's diabetic. If they cut her, it could lead to amputation." And I
Okay.
was just mind blown, like, "Whoa, we don't go
Right.
to the nail salons." This was something that me and my grandmother did for one another, that self-care that we call it
Mm-hmm.
now. She would do her own feet. She would do the exfoliation, the nail cutting, the trimming, and then we would have our time polishing our nails. So
Okay.
that's what I learned from her, but I would never have imagined in a million years that all those wonderful things that he told me about caring for diabetics' feet, I would later use in my own business. So I was able to translate that love, that care, that passion into my own business. But not just a business, but I made sure that I was offering solutions for people who needed that level of care.
And that's very important. Nisha, my grandmother on the Rico side in California, she had problems with diabetes, and she cut herself,
Mm-hmm.
and later had to have a couple toes amputated, and eventually, after 2 decades, both legs
Mm-hmm.
amputated. But it started basically with clipping toenails and having a little accident or a cut or an
Mm-hmm.
infection. But that people don't think about that, but that's very, very important that you get the proper care.
Right. So it's for a healthy person, if you cut your foot, you step on something, that's okay. But for someone who is diabetic, going through cancer, has MS, Parkinson, high blood pressure, neuropathy. Just because you have diabetes doesn't mean you'll get neuropathy. Just
Right.
because you have neuropathy doesn't mean you're diabetic or have high blood pressure. So when you have those issues and you have those comorbidities, you have to be diligent about checking your feet every day. It's not an option. If someone can't bend over, put a mirror on the floor so that you can look at the bottom of your feet. Because if you have those issues and you step on something, it could be there for days. That doesn't just turn into a sore, that turns into an ulcer that doesn't, a sore and then ulcer that doesn't heal. And like, unfortunately, like your grandmother, you, they will be subject, well, yeah, open to wounds that don't heal
Right.
all the way up to amputation. And the unfortunate thing about amputations is that I just found out through another doctor that, I'm sorry, he is an endocrinologist, that it's if you start off with amputations, it's like you have like almost up to 7 years before, unfortunately, people die.
Wow.
So that's why I am so very passionate about what I do, because it's not just the cosmetic, it is care that will help prevent other things from happening. Diabetes is preventative. Yes, some people and their family is genetic, but it is preventative. So when you have it, it's not a death sentence. You eat right, you exercise, but you must take care of your feet.
Right.
Your feet are your foundation. If you don't have
Okay.
your feet, you don't have anything to stand on.
Right. Literally and figuratively, right? So, I think part of the health industry, the most important part is education.
Hmm.
And that's what you do on a daily basis. That's what I do on a daily basis. When I started first working for hospice, there were disparaging numbers with Hispanic and African American folks using hospice care. And after we talked about some of the cultural issues, our number one concern for our CEO was to get out in those communities. And we've done it. I feel like the industry has changed a lot. We were getting a lot more proactive calls about hospice, starting earlier and finding out about it. But it's just about education, and those relationships that you build are so important because you and I know very well if you trust somebody and you can have that person to go to and have those conversations with,
Hmm.
it becomes more empowering. And our culture is that way, right? I mean, when you know somebody and you feel comfortable with them, obviously you're going to go to them and lean on them.
Correct. Um, well, with my job, with my business, the beautiful thing is that I build that trust, because it's like, oh wow, you're not just a regular nail tech. You have more
Right.
training. I see that you go to classes. It's like, oh, you go out of town. You know doctors. It's like, yes, I'm not doing these things to brag, because I have had several people that I saw changes in their feet,
Okay.
and I begged them, I need you to go to the doctor. I've even had a couple where I maybe shouldn't have done this, but come on, we're going to the hospital because I saw things in their feet. And they were diabetic or whatever they had. I just knew that they would blow it off.
Okay.
And no, you can't blow those things off when you have those underlying conditions because it's literally life or death.
Right.
And so I knew that I had to be the bridge between um, the cosmetic side and the healthcare side so that people would take their health seriously. And not just women, but it's like, oh, it's just a little sore on my foot, it's no big deal, it's winter time,
Right.
nobody will see it. No, summer toes start now. So if you have an issue that's bothering you, yeah, come on in, call me, show it to me. I have new people to text me their feet so I can understand what's going
Right.
on. Because if it's something that's outside of my scope, oh, definitely, I need you to go to the doctor,
Okay.
or I need you to go to ER now because I've had people text me those type of images. And
And our bodies give us warnings, right? It's like the check engine light. You just keep letting it
always,
go, and you just
oh,
pay attention. Don't pay
always, I
attention.
get
Something
people,
else is gonna
oh,
happen.
I'll go later, I'll do that. No, go ahead and take care of it now. We in the West, we look at medicine as the after effect, like, oh, we'll get it once we get sick. No, we
Why do
need
you
to
think that
be,
is?
because we don't want to admit that our bodies sometimes break down. We're not super women, we're not supermen.
Okay.
We always have to take care of ourselves, either eating right, exercising. And exercising isn't going to the gym and, lifting all these weights.
Right.
Exercising is yoga, tai chi, just getting up and walking around your house for like 10 minutes, every, not every hour, but like do that 3 or 4 times a day. 10 minutes is something very simple. So we're making too much out of, oh, exercise, oh, I hate the gym, I hate sweating. No, you have to move the body. You
Right.
have to, especially with so many people working from home or a sedentary job. I try to give those exercises to people who sit down all day, especially my diabetics, well, the people with all the things, because sitting is just as detrimental as standing, not doing anything.
Okay.
So the exercises that I showed you all at one of the meetings, if you're sitting down for more than an hour, I need you to just start lifting your heels.
Okay.
So these are called calf raises. Why is that? Because the calves are considered the second heart in Eastern medicine. So when you sit down all day, the blood pools at your feet. You have to get that blood moving. You got to get the calf raises. You do the calf raises to get the blood to flow back up to the heart. So just simple things like that. Like I said, I tell them every 45 minutes, set your alarm so that you can do your calf raises. You don't have to necessarily get up. I understand we're in meetings, we're on Zoom calls, but do those calf raises all day, especially the people who have, was it Raynaud's disease, where your hands are cold, your hands and your feet are always cold. That helps tremendously.
Okay.
For people with neuropathy, do those calf raises every 45 minutes if you're sitting down and can't get away. I have to do the calf raises because I'm primarily sitting a lot, but I do take breaks and get up in between clients. I'm cleaning, or if I'm sitting longer than an hour, I'm doing some nail care. On the fingernails, of course, I do my calf raises, and they're like, "Oh my God, you gotta use the restroom." It's like, no, I'm doing my calf raises.
Well,
to
and
make
that's so
sure.
important because, especially in this day and age, when people are binge watching shows, and it's easy to say, "Well, I've been here for 4 hours watching this."
Yeah.
For folks that need to get up and just walk around and
Uh-huh.
do some exercises, and like you said, it doesn't have to be going to the gym and lifting weights. It's just some getting your body mobile.
Right. Definitely. That and then they're surprised that I know those things. It's like, well, that's why I go to these classes. I go to the schools that where they offer the extra continuing education for myself, so that I can help my clients. Because I've been told that doctors, nurses, all the those, not all the places, but a majority of our medical professionals, they're busy, and they don't really have the time to necessarily teach them these little tricks to help them throughout their day. I see my clients every 4 to 6 weeks. People only go to the doctor when they're sick.
Right.
No, let's take care of ourselves so that we can go once a year for a checkup.
Right.
So yes.
And it's not just adults anymore. It's kids too. I mean, you see kids sitting behind the computer systems for hours and hours. And my wife and I had this conversation the other day because kids spend time with each other differently than we did. Outside it was playing some kind of sport, or
Right.
staying outside until your mom yelled,
Yeah.
It's time to come in. But now
Like
they,
the porch lights.
yeah, now they're like on the computer, on these headsets with their friends, and it's great. They're communicating, but at the same time, you could be there 2-3 hours without
Yes,
moving.
easy,
Yeah,
easy.
right.
And you just get lost, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's an hour later, it's 2 hour later.
And you form bad habits that way.
Yes.
I mean, if you're doing that as a child, as you become an adult, you're probably most likely not going to exercise or work out or
Right.
do those kind of things.
Definitely. And also, as parents, we have to be vigilant about our children's shoes.
Yes.
It's not just about, oh, I want these soccer shoes, they're the coolest, or I want these gym shoes. We have to be vigilant about our children's shoes. We have to look at their feet, because some kids supinate, some kids pronate, which means they go in or they go out. And you want to make sure that you're getting quality shoes that support their feet. If your kids have flat feet,
Okay.
go ahead and get them shoes that have better arch support, because that helps. That helps with not only the support, but again, the feet are the foundation. If you don't have the proper support, if they have flat feet, what happens is that then the ankles start coming in, then the knees start coming in, and then you have hip and back issues. So everything is connected. So don't just check that they have the coolest new shoes. If they have a little flat, if their foot is flat, you really look at that. And they're never too young to take them to a podiatrist.
Okay.
You're probably saving them years of, like I said, hip, ankle, back issues, because as we get older, that's more weight. So it's really throwing things out of alignment.
Right.
And you want to make sure that, like I said, that your kids are healthy, wearing great shoes that give them protection and support, because it gets worse if we don't correct it now, instead of waiting years and years and years and wondering why do they always twist their ankle, or why is their knee or back always hurting. So
Now, Nisha, can you write a letter to my wife about having shoes? Because I always get in trouble for having too many shoes. But I always
never have too many shoes. Never.
I always tell her, I think it's back to when I was a kid. We got one pair.
Yeah.
And you didn't mess those up. And so you got one gym shoe and one school shoe. And so I was always cleaning them. And so now that I'm older, I do have a shoe problem. I really like shoes. And my kids love shoes too. But
they got it honest.
but that's important though, to have the right shoes, because you're exactly right. I watched this episode on YouTube. There's a brand, and I'm not going to call out the brand, but they're selling them to the younger kids, and they're $500-$600 shoes. And the kids are buying them. And so the guy took the shoe apart, how they were made, and he was saying these are $600 shoes, but they come all dirty and stained, looking like they're already worn. My mom would kill me if I wore those shoes. But he was basically saying, this is just a fad. There's nothing special about these shoes, because he measured he looked at the layers on the bottom, and so like you said, they might not be for everybody. They're for there's a flat shoe. He said there's no arch support in them at all.
No cushion in the ball of the foot. It's. And then we have to realize, when we say running shoe, soccer shoe, I forgot the other, cross training or tennis shoe. Those are for those particular sports. When we say running, does it have arch support? Does it have good heel cushion? Is it wide so that the feet can splay, because it's constant pounding, and a little bit of this when we're running. So for the cross training, again, we're probably doing several sports, lifting weights, and it's like, when you're doing the cross training or CrossFit, are you flat-footed, or are you on the ball of your foot? that's where tennis shoes come in. We're
Right.
playing tennis. We're up. We're like this. We're not completely flat-footed, but we're on the ball of our foot and we're stopping and going. So that cushion would be most likely in the front, towards the front of the shoe. So with that being said, I want to stress the importance of not wearing the same shoes every day. So
Okay.
yes, you're right. Tell your wife.
I will.
Your wife.
I will.
You're right.
I'm onto something. Finally, I'm right about one thing.
I mean, yes, it's fashion, but the people, my runners, or the people that work out, the CrossFit people, all of that, you can't wear the same gym shoe every day because over time that gym shoe or that running shoe, we all have pressure points in our feet where the foot hits the ground first and then the rest of the foot comes down. You have to have at least 2 or 3 pairs of running shoes if you're a runner or if you walk on the treadmill every day. Why? Because you don't want to break that gym shoe down, because when you break it down wearing the same shoe every day, you get those pressure points.
Okay.
That leads to callus.
Okay.
Also, we want to make sure that you have enough room in the shoe. We don't want a whole lot of room, but like a half of an inch for socks, because again, it's in that little bitty space, and even though you're in a gym shoe, it fits, sometimes you get a little of this, a little movement.
Okay.
And if you're a runner, you have to make sure that you have that space so that your toenails aren't constantly
Rubbing. Okay.
and that's a lot of impact. That's why so many of my runners like lose their toenail because they overdid it and they had a runner's high, and instead of 5 miles they did 10. It's easy to do
Okay.
because they're in the zone and they do it. So even if you walk, have 2 or 3 pairs of good quality gym shoes. Spend the money because this is an investment in your feet. If you don't have good gym shoes when you're walking or running, you get the shin splints, knee pain. Oh my gosh, why does it hurt so bad? But I love running because you don't have the proper support.
Okay. Now, how about socks? I'm sure those probably.
Oh, yes, my favorite. Okay, so, and my work guys that work guys and women that wear the work boots.
Okay.
So we want to make sure not all cotton, we want moisture wicking socks. No black socks. I know we love them, but no black socks because pathogens, fungi, bacteria, they multiply exponentially in a dark, warm, moist place.
Okay.
Black socks, that's what black socks are. So we want either wool, we want moisture wicking, or bamboo socks that fit the feet. Some of the socks have like this arch support where it's tighter around the heel, not the heel, I'm sorry, but the arch of the foot. But just make sure that you have moisture wicking socks to keep that moisture away from your feet so that you don't give the bacteria, the fungi, a chance to grow exponentially.
Okay.
Also, with the work boots, yes, spray them. If you have, a little sweaty or stinky feet, spray your shoes out every day. I know those work boots are super expensive, but at least try to get 2 pairs so that you don't wear the same pair every day because they're already heavy. Most of them have the steel toes or whatever. So again, you'll suffer the fatigue a lot sooner if you wear the same work boots every day. You can also bring several pairs of socks. I have some guys that work for BP, the railroad. I tell them, change your socks. You'll feel the difference. You'll feel better. Your feet will feel better. Change your socks throughout the day. If you don't have the work boots, change your socks, extra pair of work boots, change your socks, and you'll feel better, and your feet won't be as sweaty or stinky.
Now, Nisha, how about some of our patients that are at home? What kind of socks, or what, because I know sometimes they like the warm booties or.
Oh, so if you have to do compression socks, I forgot about that. Compression socks, if you have to do them, leave a little gap. Oh my gosh, leave a little gap in your at the toe so that you don't have those compression socks pressing on those toenails because that does cause pain.
Okay.
A little ingrown toenail because it's pressing down on the toenails. So yeah, wear those every day. with people that wear those socks, also try to make sure that you moisturize your feet and legs really good, because they are compression socks, and it does lead to some of the flakiness and itchy when skin is dry and it flakes. It becomes really itchy. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, I don't like it. It itches really bad." Well, your skin is really dry. So moisturize your skin really well before you put those socks on with that gap at the top. For people who, when we have people who are in institutions or at home, we still want to keep them
Okay.
comfortable. So moisturize their feet as well, because when you apply the moisture, notice I'm saying moisture, either a good cream, a good thick cream, or a good lotion. Not necessarily petroleum or Vaseline, because you have to moisturize the skin first. Then you can apply Vaseline or a petroleum based product, because Vaseline is occlusive, meaning it doesn't allow the skin to breathe. The skin is our largest organ, and the skin needs to breathe. So when you slather Vaseline on top of dry skin, and you put those socks on, and it's like, oh, my feet are soft. No, they were sweating. And the Vaseline, which is occlusive, it keeps everything in there. And then when they take off the socks, then it's like, oh no, now it's dry. Well, you didn't moisturize first before you put on that Vaseline or that thick
Which makes
product.
sense. You think about those boxers that get the cuts on their eyes, they
Hmm.
put the Vaseline on there, so they probably can't, you know.
Well, they put the Vaseline on the face before so that when they get hit, it slides off. But also, yeah, we do want to trap that sweat in, because you can't box and have sweat everywhere.
Yeah.
But yes, and even though our loved ones are in facilities or at home with hospice, check on their feet. Apply that moisture, that moisturizing cream or whatever, to their legs and feet, because massage stimulates blood flow. Hopefully they are eligible for a massage, but if they're not, if they have heart conditions, no, you don't want to massage, but apply that cream to their feet and their legs and go upward, because that stimulates blood flow, and we want to get that blood flowing back to the heart. And we want to yeah, we want to definitely um, yeah, get the blood flowing. They'll feel better.
Okay.
The feet, their legs will be nice and warm. They'll feel so much better, because they had not only human touch, but we activated the blood flow so that they can feel that energy flow back to their heart. And it also protects them from, if they're in the bed a lot, those bed sores.
Okay.
So
Well, I think I was thinking about a video series for you, like just a short videos,
mhm.
so you can help some of those folks, because I'm sure they're at home thinking like, oh, am I doing this right? Am I hurting
Right,
somebody? Or,
right.
but it's
Yeah, just simple massage. We just want to make sure that we're, like I said, getting the blood flowing, but not hard, of course. If they have a heart issue or high blood pressure, you can't do it hard, of course. You have to do soft flowing rhythm, so that, like I said, you can get the blood flowing, and it's delightful. Of
okay.
course, someone like you or I, we can deal with a Swedish massage or a deep tissue
Right.
massage because we're healthy. But someone with heart issues, no, no, you don't do all that. Just put it on them
Yes.
really good. Make it 5 minutes per leg, foot, just lightly, and they'll appreciate it. They'll love it. And like I said, it does cut down on the dryness, the bed sores, even the toenails. They're getting soft, as they'll get the moisture and softness as well.
Okay. Nisha, what's the most rewarding part of your job?
The most rewarding part are the transformations
Okay.
for people who have, I won't say they let their feet go, but they just didn't, they just haven't found the right person to not only take care of their feet, but the person that can explain why they're doing what they do. For example, I only do dry or waterless pedicures
Okay.
because I can better see the condition of the feet and the skin. It's not about throwing a product onto their feet and their legs. It's about being able to look at it and offer solutions such as a great product for at-home care, or if they have a discoloration of their nail, okay, take this nail tincture home so that you can use it on your nails, so it cleans all that up so that you can be back to that beautiful pinkish uh, nail plate that it was, that healthy nail plate. So helping people to achieve their foot care goals, that's the most rewarding thing to me because no one else was able to tell them that. So when they go into the walk-in salons, I need people to understand that their business model is in and out. We're going to beautify your feet. We're going your feet and your nails. We're going to put all the things on. Wow, really? We're going to do all the things to beautify your feet, but they're very limited in what they can and can't do in those 20 minutes to an hour.
Right.
So with that being said, I actually tell you, hey, I'm only doing 20%. I'm reducing the callus. I'm reducing the thickness. I'm debriding the nail plate. I'm cutting the nails down, and I'm cutting them straight across so that when they grow back, they won't be digging into your nail bed.
Okay.
So that's 20%. But you have to go home. You have to use this product that I used in service. You have to apply the nail tincture so that we can keep the nail plate nice and soft and it won't come back thick. You know, you have to stop bathing in super hot water. You're not boiling potatoes.
Right.
That's robbing the skin of its moisture. Yeah, so it's simple things like that to really help people, and they're like, no one has ever told me that. Even doctors have podiatrists. They haven't even told me, to put that gap at my in my compression socks,
Right.
so that my toenails don't keep curling down into my skin, digging into my skin, causing more pain. I already have to wear these tight socks and get used to it. And now, like, my toenails are killing me,
Right.
and they're like, oh, I thought to buy bigger shoes. And then now you bought bigger shoes. So now your shoes are too big and they're doing like this. Now you got a callus. So it's just simple things that people don't know, that I can share my knowledge with them so that they can feel better. Because again, your feet are your foundation. If your feet hurt, you're done. It's like, I don't
Right.
want to do this, I don't want to do that. It's because my feet hurt so bad.
Well,
So,
even cutting your toenails straight across, that's
mhm.
probably something that a lot of people haven't heard. I haven't heard that either. So.
Yeah, because we have the big toenail clippers, and they're curved. So they're kind of curved like this.
Uh-huh.
So when people cut their nails, they're going across. They're not going across, but they're going into the motion of the toenail clipper, which is
Or
curved.
following the nail.
Yeah, which you shouldn't do because it promotes ingrown toenails, because it's going in curved, and you're like, oh no, and they cut too short. That's another thing that causes ingrown toenails. And it's hard for people that just had hip replacement, knee replacement. You can't bend, you can't get at that angle, because I'm looking directly at your toe, so I can see how to cut it straight across. But when you're hunched over, bent over like a pretzel, folded like a cheap lawn chair, you're cutting it crooked, and you're
Right.
like, oh my gosh, why does my toe hurt? So it has to be cut straight across, and the way that I cut it, those corners, they're not completely like straight. I just kind of do some things to soften them, so again, they don't dig and become ingrown and cause pain.
Okay.
And stop all the bathroom surgeries. Call a qualified professional like myself or your podiatrist to cut your toenails properly. Stop digging in your toes if you think you have an ingrown toenail. It's not really ingrown. It's a lot of impacted debris, and because you dig into that toenail grows out a certain way to protect itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot of bathroom surgery. Stop doing it.
All right. That's good to know. Well, thanks for educating us today, and thanks for all you do, Nisha, not only for your business, but for your business community. We value your leadership and your energy. You got a great enthusiasm when you come to our meetings, and when we talk to each other. It's always a great conversation.
Always.
And I think because you form relationships so well and so easily, that I think it's really, really helped our community. And I look forward to working with you, and even I would like to get Dr. McIntyre, our palliative doctor, with you, and so he can talk to you a little bit about some of the things that he does, and maybe you guys can form a relationship and bond with, because he sees a lot of patients too, and I'm sure, foot health is really, really important.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much, Damien. Always great to be here.
Anything you want to leave us with?
Let's see. Summer toes start now. Call me now instead of waiting until it's warm and you get all in a tizzy about, oh, my feet look like this. Foot care is all year round. Pedicure is not just a cosmetic thing. Pedicure is necessary for good foot health. Your feet affect your ankles, your knees, and your back. A lot of the issues that you're having with your knees or your back stems from improper footwear.
Okay.
So you need someone to help you with something. Please give me a call. Nisha Williams, 219-237. I'm so sorry. Don't call myself often. 219-237-0893. If you have any foot care issues that you'd like to speak to me about, you can send me pictures and say, hey, I heard you on with Damien of Hospice of Northwest Indiana. Just give me a call. I am here to help, and we can get you in, get you scheduled.
Yes, and for all your hospice needs, if you have any questions or need any direction or guidance, please don't hesitate to call us at 219-922-2732. Hospice of the Calumet Area, hospicecalumet.org is our website, and we'd love to and be honored to serve your families.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Nisha. I appreciate you coming in and
so exciting.
Enjoying our first show on the new WJOB, the new old WJOB. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeff Saturday for Indiana Unclaimed.
Listen up. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Indiana Unclaimed might have found some of your money. And if you're like me, you had no idea. But I went and checked for my name on indianaunclaimed.gov. Look, I found a Hall of Fame quarterback on that list and the foundation of a former punter. The state of Indiana is reading